So are we sure that Vlad Sr. isn't also Bo Bichette's dad? Cause, yeah. Bo Bichette has been one of the better hitting shortstops in all of baseball since making his debut back in 2019. He's never had an OPS under 800 or a WRC plus below 120 in any season of his career so far. But there has been one pretty obvious hole in Bo's game so far, and that has been patience. If we get Mr. Miyagi to be his new hitting coach, we might be looking at the greatest hitter ever. Bo's career walk percentage sits at 5.7%, and the highest he's been in terms of percentile rankings for that was in the 19th percentile last year in 2022. And he also holds a career 36.8% chase rate, with the highest he's ever ranked there being in the 18th percentile. And that's this season. So it's pretty clear that he goes up to the plate with one thing on his mind: to hit the damn ball. And that's why we see him swinging over 56% of the time over his career. But when you're as much of a free swinger as Bo is, what this means is that as a hitter, you don't get to hit the pitches necessarily that you're looking for. You have to go up there ready to hit anything that the pitcher's gonna throw at you. But luckily for Bo, it doesn't really matter what pitch is getting thrown at him. He's not only gonna put the bat on it, he's gonna do it with authority. He holds a career 22.4% whiff rate to go along with a 91.4 mile per hour exit velo and 47.6% hard hit rate. So like I said, it's hard enough just to get Bo to swing through something, but he's not just getting a piece of it. He's getting the whole thing, and he is driving it. And when you hit the ball hard, good things tend to happen. And so far over his career, Bo's put up a slash line of 302, 344, 497 for an 841 OPS with 80 home runs, a 130 WRC plus, and 14.4 FWAR. He's put up great offensive numbers so far, and especially for a shortstop. Let me know where you would rank him among shortstops in MLB. But what's weirdly impressive about this is that Bo's put up these numbers in almost the exact opposite way that you would think. Well, we just talked about how Bo's a pretty free swinger, and a lot of the other top hitters generally are pretty patient, but on top of this, they're usually looking to pull the ball and to get it in the air. When you pull it is generally when you hit it the hardest, and getting it in the air is how you get all your extra base hits and everything. But Bo does not do this. He actually tends to hit the ball pretty low with a career 8.1 degree launch angle versus league average, which is usually around 12 degrees. But what is crazy about Bo's game is the fact that he goes opposite field about 35% of the time, almost 10% more than the league average this season. So where most guys tend to try to get a little ahead of the ball, try to pull it, maybe go back up the middle, Bo's approach is to go more middle away and just make his high school coach feel so proud. So what this tells me about his approach is that he's not up there looking to do damage on everything. He's letting the ball travel, let it get deep, and just get the barrel to it. Doesn't really matter where it ends up going, because if he was trying to do damage on everything, we'd see him getting out in front more, pulling stuff, but on top of that, he'd be whiffing way more too when you try to get out ahead of something and it's not what you thought it was. It's this approach, along with Bo's really good swing too, that has turned him into such a dangerous hitter, and he's only added onto this to start 2023. In 54 games, he's hit 11 home runs with a 338, 376, 537 slash line for a 912 OPS, a 154 WRC plus, which would be a career high, and 2.5 FWAR so far, staying the same free swinging slugger that we know and love. 13th percentile in walk rate, 18th percentile in chase rate, but once again, this really just doesn't matter for Bo, because if it's in the same time zone as him, he can hit damn near everything. Almost everything. See, Bo absolutely mashes fastballs and off speed. That's stuff like changeups, splitters, yada yada. Hitting both of these over 93 miles per hour on average with WOBAs of 400 or higher. And that's even with him hitting, and I'm not joking about this, a negative launch angle against fastballs. But where he has struggled is with breaking balls, hitting them for a 233 batting average, 422 slugging, and 282 WOBA, with most of his whiffs coming against these breaking balls. So if we look a little bit closer at this, with breaking balls, we basically have either sliders, curveballs, or now sweepers, basically those slower sliders that break way more. And Bo really isn't doing all that bad against curveballs. In fact, so far he's slugging .714 with a hard hit percentage of 63.2% and only striking out 9.5% of the time. It's the sliders and sweepers though that have been giving him so much trouble, whiffing on both of these at least 25% of the time, and he struck out about 22% on sliders and 28.5% on sweepers. Now, if you pair this up with the fact that the only area in and around the strike zone that Bo has a WOBA under 300 is down and away out of the zone, which I'm not getting on him at all for. That's a damn near impossible place to try to hit anything, but it seems pretty clear that there's at least something here that pitchers can try to attack him with. That would be sliders and sweepers going down and away just out of the zone. Look, every player has their weaknesses, and Bo's no exception to this. This isn't me trying to take shots at him or anything. He just has to have a plan for when pitchers try to attack this weakness against him, which for him, if he wants to keep swinging like he does, then maybe it's using that middle away approach to hit these sliders and sweepers over into right field, or better yet, if they're throwing them for a ball, just let him go and hit literally anything else. Like I've just been talking for however long about the fact that he already shown he can. Because even with this clear weakness that he's had this year, he still has career bests in batting average, on base percentage, exit velo, strikeout percentage, and whiff rate right now. And he's ranked first out of all qualified shortstops in Major League Baseball in home runs, batting average, on base percentage, slugging percentage, OPS, WOBA, WRC plus, and exit velo. Personally, I preach patience all the time when it comes to hitting, and that's what I find so scary about Bo's game, is that I really think he could be noticeably better than he already is if he was a little bit more patient early in counts, let some more pitches go, find the ones that he can do damage on. Then when he gets 2 strikes, yeah, then use this middle away approach that he very clearly can do really well. But I'm curious your thoughts on Bo and anything I've talked about here, and any predictions that you have for the rest of his season. Look, it might not be the textbook way of doing things here in 2023, but Bo has his own style and he does it really, really well. And I gotta give him all the props in the world for that. Like, I'm anybody to tell Bo how to hit sitting from this seat right here. Now we're actually seeing all of this play out on the complete flip side of things with Bryce Elder, who has a pretty unconventional style of pitching for nowadays, but is leading the National League in ERA when most of the advanced numbers say that he should not be pitching this well. So make sure you check out this video next to find out more about that. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the page to help the channel grow, and so you can see more baseball content like this when we drop a new video every Wednesday and Sunday. Thank you so much for watching. Have an awesome day. I'll see you later.